Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Thank you for choosing me. My name is Coach Ifeogbona. I'm your stress management and work-life balance coach. Today's topic is something that had affected me a lot for a very, very long time. And I believe many people suffer this till today. It's called inferiority complex. So today we'll be unmasking it and overcoming it. Yes, we can. So let's start by defining what is inferiority complex. This is a term used to describe an intense feeling of inadequacy, and this often results in you preoccupying yourself with your weakness and a sense of self-doubt. Yes, you feel 1, I'm not good enough. 2, I don't measure up. And I know you might have been feeling that way, or you know someone that feels always not good enough, always not measuring up. Let me let you know that you are not alone. A lot of people go through that. And if that is not well managed, you see people working below their capabilities and their capacity. They are staying behind because they don't want to come out, because they feel that they are not good enough. Like I said, I experienced that for a very long time. My own journey started ever since I was young, and it was just me being on my own road, staying on my own way to my success, me feeling not good enough. No one really told me I was not good enough. No one even made me feel not good enough. I felt not good enough. I felt I didn't measure up enough. And how did it show in my case? One of the way that was so visible in my case was that when I'm walking on the road, I always walk very close to the side of the road, almost falling down into the gutters. They call it the gutters. Where I lived when I was growing up, there were gutters on the sides of the main road, so you walk by the side. But I was always so close to the gutters that someone told me, or many times I get told that one day if you're not careful, you're going to fall into the gutter. I just wanted to hide myself. I just wanted to be invisible when I'm going from A to B. I don't know. I always felt that everyone was looking at me and I was not fit enough, good enough to be looked at. That was how I felt for a very long time. Also, for me personally, my open teeth also made me inferior. I don't know. I just felt, why did I have an open teeth? I didn't want to talk, because when I talked, my open teeth would show. I really felt inferior. Although in Africa, where I come from, that time, I don't know of now, a lot of people see open teeth as a thing of beauty. Yet I saw it as a thing to be ashamed of. I felt inferior having it, and I criticized myself a lot. I criticize myself a lot. When I go to a party, when I go to an event, I try not to talk. I try to avoid being anywhere in front. And if there's any reason I got to talk, I have to say something or do something, I come back home and I criticize myself. All what I said at this event keep coming to my mind, and I keep saying, oh my God, how could you talk like that? Oh my God, you were so loud. Oh my God, this, oh my God, that. I was killing myself. So the only way, one of the ways I could avoid that from happening is not to go out, not to offer my services, not to be seen, not to be heard. Then I had my peace. That is not a nice way to live. That is not what God called us to live. So that is what inferiority can do for us. But the thing is this, like I said in my case, there was not really, apart from my teeth, sometimes they're very close friends were making fun, but their fun was also fun. It was not really something bad. I was my own stumbling block. I was the problem. So sometimes, many times, with this problem is our thoughts and our feelings. We feel inferior. We think that we are inferior. And these things, they are not facts. They are just our thoughts and our feelings. So this state can be significant, can be a significant stress factor. Inferiority complex, it's a very high significant stress factor for many reasons. One of the reasons is that you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to other people. You say, come, look at that person. The person can talk well, the person is good looking, the person dresses well. You start comparing yourself with other people. And this constant comparison or the comparison can lead to stress, especially when we feel that those people are more successful, more talented, more appreciated than us. And in today's world, when there are a lot of filters, when there are a lot of unreal reels, it makes things worse. We see people looking very beautiful on social media. We see them, their skin glowing. We see them, in their best, and we feel, wow, I should not show my face. I can't compare to this person. So this constant comparison causes stress for us, and its root source is you feeling inferior to another person just because of the way you are, because of what you have. You compare it with somebody else. Number two, what being in feelings of inferior or thoughts of being inferior, what they can do to you is it causes a fear of failure, because you already feel you're not good enough. You understand? So even when you're asked to do something, you are not at peace. You are just fidgeting. You understand? And at the same time, you just know that I'm already not good enough if I fail. So you avoid things. So that constant fear of failure is inside of you. You don't want to try anything new, because you feel when you put yourself out there, you come back, you criticize yourself, and if there's any reason that you do not make it, you get deep into depression, deep into the dark side of feeling inferior. So that is one stress thing that comes out from being feelings of inferior. Not being inferior, they are feelings and thoughts. That's what I want you to take home with. Then people that are inferior or feel inferior or think they're inferior, they have a problem with being perfect. You just try to do everything well, and when you do it well, you want everybody to get up and clap for you and say you are the best. And you pursue this thing. You understand? You start something. If it's not perfect, you throw it away. If it's not perfect, you throw it away. Listen, there is no one that is perfect. We are all striving, and we all keep striving to be perfect, because we have no ceiling up there. We want to continue to get better. So remember, you are perfectly imperfect. So am I. And you need to embrace that. Because when we strive to be perfect, coming from this, our thoughts and feelings of being inferior, we cage ourselves into a stress cycle. And another thing that happens with these feelings and thoughts of insecurity, of inferiority, is that you have social anxiety. Oh my God, he doesn't want to go anywhere. That was my own problem. Though now I see that to an extent, I'm not the outgoing person. I'm not the person that will go to a party and things like that. That's me, and I'm confident in it. But you can call me to speak somewhere, and I'll speak and I'll go back home. But before, when I was suffering under these thoughts and this cloud of being inferior, I had fear going to somewhere. Even in church, when you are asked to do something, you are scared. You have anxiety. You are anxious. And we know what that does to you. Your stress hormone goes up. Your stress hormone goes up. You just hate to talk at parties. You hate to talk at any event, because afterwards you feel terrible about yourself. You criticize yourself. You tell yourself all the things you could have done better, and that leads to stress. So those are the things, those are the stress that comes out when you continue to live under these feelings and thoughts of being inferior. So how do you know? How can you find out if you are suffering under inferiority complex? How do you know? There are some signs that you can use to discover for yourself if you are suffering from it. Number one, you are so oversensitive to criticism. When somebody criticizes you, you react so strongly to it. It does not matter whether the criticism is constructive or not. For you, because you're already feeling insecure, you take it as an attack. So if someone just tells you something, you're taking it as an attack. No matter how bold you might seem, it can be that you're suffering from inferiority complex. Secondly, when you are constantly downplaying your achievements and your successes. I went through this, you understand? I found it difficult to say, I'm good at doing this, I'm good at doing this. It's not a matter of you being arrogant. It's a matter of you saying, it's a fact, maybe you are good at something. But if you are suffering from inferiority complex, you downplay all your achievements, you understand? You just you dismiss it because you also feel it as not good enough. Somebody might even tell you, you're looking beautiful, so I hear you. Why? You understand? Or you did that thing good, you say, the other person can do it better. Why? Because you always feel you've not done enough, you cannot give enough. So if you're always like that, you cannot even just accept a simple compliment, then watch out, maybe you're suffering from inferiority complex. Another thing that is a sign that you're suffering from this is when you withdraw socially. Social withdrawal. People invite you to social events, to things. You just say, no, thank you, I'm busy. No, I don't want to go. You really want to go, but you know that the end result when you come back is terrible. You know that you become, you criticize yourself. Maybe you compare your clothes. You compare the way you ate, the way you talked. You compare the way you stood. You compare everything. You compare everything to yourself. So instead of doing that, you just withdraw. You just stay on your own. You stay on the four walls of your house. So that is not good. That is a sign that you might be suffering from inferiority complex. Another thing that we also touched on earlier is about being perfectionist. When you're a perfectionist person, you're a person that always likes everything to be perfect. Why do you like everything to be perfect? You go to the detail into details in everything. If it's not perfect, you just cut out, you just let it go. That might be a sign that you are feeling inferior. You're trying to prove yourself to someone, and that doesn't help you, because like I said, we are perfectly imperfect, and perfection might just be an illusion. So let's try to be able to accept ourselves. So if you find any of these signs in your life, then it might be that you are suffering from inferiority complex. That is, if you don't know it already. I believe most people that suffer from it, they are aware of it. I was at the beginning, I was not really aware of it. I just felt it was me. But when I realized, I see some other people, maybe people that I considered, I could do a bit better than this person. Then why am I not showcasing myself? You understand? Those are the things that brought me to reality that there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my thinking. You understand? And the truth is that it's not every thought that comes through your head that you must accept. No, don't accept every thought that comes through your head. You can filter. The thought will come, you say, okay, you throw it out. You say, no, I don't accept that thought. They are only thoughts. So you have the power to control those thoughts when they come. They will come. When they come, put them in their place, accept the ones you want to accept, and throw the ones you want to throw out. You filter them out. So how can you, at the end of the day, overcome these feelings of being inferior, overcome these feelings or these thoughts of you being inferior? So number one is self-awareness. You have to acknowledge them. I had to acknowledge the fact that I felt inferior. I had to accept it. Self-awareness and self-acceptance, they are two a bit different, in the sense that I was aware. I have to be aware that I feel inferior. I have to be aware that I criticize myself a lot. I have to be aware that I wanted everything to be perfect. I have to be aware that I was withdrawing socially. You understand? Not by choice, but by because of these feelings of being inferior. You understand? So you have to understand that, and you have to know what triggers that. When you are aware of yourself, you exactly know what triggers it. What is triggering it now? What is triggering this feeling of inferior now? Am I comparing myself to somebody? What are the things triggering it? So if you can find out exactly that, then you start to overcome it. Like I also said, self-acceptance. Know who you are, know your strengths, know what drains you. For example, like I said before, maybe I don't go to events or, like, for example, parties because I felt inferior. I felt when I talked, I came back home and I criticized myself. But now I still don't like going to parties because they drain me out. So I understood myself. I accept myself in some areas. Nobody's perfect. There's some things I might not be able to do as good as somebody else, but there are some things I'm able to do very well. There's some things I'm able to do very well. I need to accept that. You know, sometimes our problem is that we magnify our weaknesses, we magnify our shortcomings, and we minimize our strengths. So in order to overcome inferiority, you need to magnify your strengths and minimize your shortcomings. That is self-acceptance. And like I said, remember, you are perfectly imperfect. So learn gratitude. Gratitude is my joker for a lot of things. I wrote a quote. I said, gratitude is an antidote for so many things. When I'm having a bad day, I just start thinking and start counting my blessings. Yes, there's always something to be grateful about. So use gratitude to overcome being inferior. Maybe that person that you are comparing yourself to is wearing a very expensive shoe. You'll be grateful that you even have a shoe to wear, if that is your problem. You understand? So be grateful for what you do, for who you are, for where you are at that time. You need to put on your gratitude. Put on your attitude of gratitude. Put it on at all times. It increases your confidence, because at that point you are not seeing lack. When you act in gratitude, you are no more seeing lack. You are seeing fullness. You are grateful. You are seeing fullness in you. And when you see that, you are more confident. It boosts your confidence. Gratitude throws away all forms of self-doubt. And it boosts your confidence. Another thing that can help is positive affirmation. Develop a positive self-talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Have one or two mantras that you say to yourself that will counter that inferiority thoughts or those feelings when they come. I always tell myself, Ify, you can, because he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. I'll say, Ify, it is possible, because all things are possible to him that believes. Have those things, those positive words that you can say to yourself. Positive affirmation can go a long way in saving your day. Setting realistic goals. Setting and achieving realistic goals can build up your confidence. Sometimes we'll start up something and we'll put our goals so high. I always say, you dream high, you dream. It's a dream is free. You dream as high as you want. But when you're setting goals, set goals step by step. I take that again. You dream as high, as big, as wide, as rich as you want. It's free. But when you start setting your goals, set them step by step. Make them realistic. Make them achievable. Make them gradual. And celebrate each step. Celebrate each step. Doesn't matter what. Celebrate each step. Then I must say that there's some people that really, thank God I was able to overcome it to a very large extent. Once in a while, it still comes up. It depends on the environment where I find myself in. But with these steps, it helps me. But there's some people that are really, really held bound to it, or they're under it, and you might just need some professional help. So please seek a counselor, seek somebody that can help you get out of those feelings, of those thoughts. Challenge those thoughts if you can by yourself. Challenge it and say, how true is that? How true is it that this person is better than me? How true is it? So challenge those thoughts of yours. You understand? You can achieve it. So if you need to seek professional help, remember to ask for help and take time to heal at whatever stage you are at feelings or thoughts of being inferior. Know that you can heal. Ask for the needed help. Use these tips, and if these tips in any way helped you, please contact me and let me know. So that is all for today. Like I always say, if you need any assistance in any of our programs, we have different programs, please check on the bio below. You will see our link, either email or phone number, and contact us. We are there to offer you any of our services for individuals or for organizations. Till our next video, stay blessed.